Brought to you by Tailored Wealth, helping business leaders live their version of a rich life.
Welcome to another edition of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast, where we cut through the financial noise and help business leaders to make smart, confident money decisions. All right, welcome to another edition of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast, where we cut through the financial noise and help business leaders to make smart, confident money decisions. I am your host, Dan Pascone, and I am the founder and CEO of Tailored Wealth. And each episode features a trusted voice in the financial world, someone who works directly with high-level professionals to simplify the complex and turn strategy into action. So today, I'm excited to introduce a special guest. We've got with us today Rosie Paulsen, who is the owner of SNR Services, which stands for Simple and Reliable, and she is an expert in the health insurance space. So Rosie, thanks for joining us and excited to have you today.
And thank you so much, Dan, for inviting me, for giving me the opportunity to address your amazing listeners and your amazing viewers. And thank you again for inviting me.
You bet. You bet. We're happy to have you. And I know that our listeners and viewers will get a lot from this conversation. So we do have a bunch to cover. And I know that our audience wants to get your expert take on some topics. So let's jump right in. If you can, just in about a 90-second overview, Rosie, tell us what it is that you do and what got you into what you do and what you help your customers to solve.
Thank you. So a great question. I only had two careers in my life. The first one was about booking business travel for business people. So I worked in a call center for about 10 years of my life. That actually got me into understanding that I wanted to help people. So I was in a transition to go from one job to another. And there was an ad in the newspaper about coming and helping seniors with their options for Medicare. At that time, it was the Humana Corporation. So I went in for the interview. I rocked it. They really compared to what I did in the travel world and all those screens that we had to use to book travel to one screen to help people with their Medicare options. It was pretty cool and easy. And because I was bilingual, they just hired me on the spot. 4 years later, I realized that I had a gift, that it was connecting people. So the first thing in my corporate career they told me not to do was to go and network, which I realized, I'm good at this, so I'm just not going to listen to what they say, and I'm going to go network. So I became the go-to person with pretty much everything, because I got to really inquire about people, learning what they do, and then always strive to give my first referral to them. I mentioned that I did join BNI, Business Network International, for 1 year, and because of that, I became Rookie of the Year in my corporation, without ever having any sell insurance or pretty much owning a company. But I realized that I needed to expand my portfolio and offer other companies. So fast forward, now it's going to be a total of 21 years with my 4 years of corporate in Humana. And I've been doing this with the heart of serving. About 5 years ago, a couple of my friends decided to do the same, and they wanted me to guide them. And now I have 15 people that I have trained personally to help others. So I have been able to duplicate myself and touch other communities, but just taking this information, this knowledge, and then share it with others. And they have been thriving ever since. So now I still help people with their Medicare options, but now I want the professionals that I wanted to help this community to be able to guide them and coach them through the process.
Love it. I love it. There's a lot to unpack there. And I love your comment about networking. We've been chatting for about 2 minutes now, and it's clear to me that you are a very gifted networker. I picked that up pretty quickly. So a bunch of stuff I want to go into. But first off, tell us a little bit about what your ideal client looks like and what you specifically help them to do.
And this is kind of like depending, because right now my focus is on insurance producers. So people with perhaps property and casualty or life insurance that they want to get into the Medicare arena because their clients are turning 65 and they're having to refer those people to somebody else that is not them. And what I tell them, the hardest thing for me to do is reach out to those people because they're not my clients. But see, you can reach to them because they're your client. And by you putting a second policy or third or fourth, how many policies you got with these people in their household, their retention is the key. Especially in Medicare, we were doing the math. People are living to be about 90. So with the Medicare arena, when you enroll or when you help somebody enroll into a plan, let's see at age 65, they might got about 85 years. So that's 20 years of residual income because with Medicare, it's until the death of that person. So you might have about 20 years of a residual income that's actually, if you think about it, that can be a retirement. You can take that money and invest it in something else also. So that is where I am right now. Also, it's the exit strategy because let's face it, in my industry, a lot of people work because they love what they do, but they don't work thinking about the end result, which is we all want to retire, right? I mean, I don't think I'm going to be able to retire because I just love talking to people too much.
Me too.
But at the end of the day, I have to have a legacy and I'm not going to work in my business. I want to work myself out of the business, right? And the business work on autopilot. And that's where I'm going. And that's what everybody should strive to do, especially if you own a business.
Very cool. Very cool. We'll get into working with other insurance professionals and financial professionals, because I definitely want to talk about that for a second. But what do you think makes you unique in the way that you help either your clients or your brokers to achieve the outcomes that you just mentioned?
Well, it's not, my superpower is resilient. So I actually wrote this book called Ñeque. Ñeque is a Quechua word that actually means resilient. Okay. So that's my superpower. Of course, my smile helps me a lot, my charisma, that's my signature. But in an entrepreneur of America, the biggest thing is that you have the opportunity to live the American dream, right? And especially if not only that, if you are a person that born in America, but let's face it, there's a lot of people that have arrived to America legally and they want to become an asset to society. So the biggest hurdle that we have is not knowing how to do business in the United States. My job is to help them understand how to do business in the United States right, but at the end of the day, that you have a mindset of resilient, because that's what makes us successful in this country. And let's face it, in this country, people want to help a small business to be successful. You just need to be able to get your voice out there, your authenticity, who you are, and just spread it out. And you're going to have those people that are looking for you, look for their way to get to you, and then they will get to know you, trust you, like you, and do business with you because they want to help you out and they know you, that you will be in their corner helping them out. Because let's face it, nobody wants to talk about insurance, but when you get sick, you want to make sure that insurance works. So that's what I do, and that's what I teach others how to do.
Love it. Love it. What do you think are the top challenges that your clients face? And then what do you and your team at this point do to help them to overcome those?
So the biggest thing is our tenure, right? I've been in this industry for 21 years, so I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it's also the simplify the information, because people are scared and confused. Literally, Dan, I will not be in business if people were not scared and confused.
Me either.
Yeah, especially because the moment that you're turning 64 and a half, people are knocking on your door. They're sending you postcards. They're calling you. They're texting you. I mean, they are hunting you down like you are, like you are prey in the savannah, right? So that's why what I teach I teach my agents or my agency partners is to start getting into these people's lives before they have to make that decision, because it's very, very confusing for them to make that decision. But the sale will happen when that person says, oh, Rosie and her team do Medicare. When I'm turning 65, this is the person that I'm going to be calling. When I start getting these things, this is the person that I'm going to be calling. So that is how I help clarify that craziness. Simple and reliable. By the time they select a plan, usually I have a 99% retention rate, and they will not change unless I tell them they need to change, because let's face it, some insurance companies may take a benefit out, change it somewhere else. And I get to study that every year. So I do that review of the policy and I say, listen, your policy really hasn't changed too much. This is the only changes. If you're okay with it, the policy will renew. But if the changes are drastic and it's something that is affecting them, then I will say we need to look at something else. And because I have built this relationship, my clients become my family. So if their health deteriorates, we need to look at a different policy. There might be a Medicare Advantage that they're using right now that is working very well for them because they are healthy and they never use it. But now they have a chronic condition and they need more access to quality care, and that HMO or the health managed organization is not working for them. So we need to look at their options. And that's what I do with my clients. And that's what my team and I love to do. And like I said, at the end of the day, you get an unbiased solution to your Medicare needs, tailored specifically to you, with our tenure of letting you know what's the thing that's going to work out there when you need it, and you can just sign it, forget about it, unless we tell you that we need to change.
Very cool. I love the tailored approach. It's what our whole business model is built on, so we can certainly relate there. All right, let's go back to, you mentioned other sort of insurance and financial professionals that you interact with, for business to connect with, and we've got a nice audience of those that tune into this. So tell us a little bit about who are the right sort of referral or partners for you, and what do you look to bring to those relationships?
So I had a friend of mine, his name is John. By the way, hi John, if you're looking at this recording. So John was a financial advisor. He's one of those people that works more on he has his clients that he has his consulting business, and every month he kind of tell them what to do with their money, where to invest and things like that. So now John and I had met each other maybe 15 years ago. All right. And I kept telling to John, this is really simple. You should diversify your portfolio to offer Medicare. No, Rosie, I will just refer people to you. So then one time he sent me a broadcast of somebody that is doing what I do, but reaching the financial advisors. And I said to John, honey, you sent me this thing, which is exactly what I'm telling you to do, and you're sending it to me. I know exactly how this works and why this is a great opportunity. So fast forward now, John and his wife, Christine, are part of my team now. Nice. And little by little, John has realized, oh my God, you are so right, Rosie, because all the people that I help at age 55, 60 to prepare for their retirement, now they're getting into the age, and instead of me having to send them somewhere else, I can service that policy. And here, the key important is that we build these relationships, which John Maxwell calls it relationship currency. I had a client that waited 12 years, Don, 12 years to be my client. That has been my persistence. I was always in contact with them via email, social media. I would call them in their birthday. When she got that Medicare card, she called me so excited. I could not believe how excited she was. So when I went in there, I said, how long have we known each other? And she says, literally, Rosie, 12 years. I remember the first time I met you at a networking event. And at that time, I said, when I turn 65, this is the lady I want in my corner. And 12 years later, here we are. So that's why when it comes to people that we serving in the Medicare arena, we're looking at before they turn 65, 60, 55, 59, because then we can work through their journey. So when the time comes, we have established that relationship currency with them.
Very cool. Very cool. I think that's a great approach. And the relationship currency concept is one that is so powerful. I know the Maxwellism there. So thank you for sharing that. All right. So where do you see your industry going in the next 5 to 10 years? And what are you doing to kind of stay on top of that?
Okay. So everybody's kind of a little leery about Dr. being the one in charge with the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. However, I've always been a very optimistic individual. I always think hopeful, always, always, always. My industry, yes, is going to change. Dr. Oz did mention we have too many brokers. What he did not explain is we have not too many good brokers, and that they have this as a calling and not as a way of making immediate money. Because I always tell people, Medicare, it's a very profitable career, but it's a slow grow career. Yeah. So the first 6 months, the first year of your Medicare business, you building those relationships, you building that. So it's going to take some time, but eventually, I'm telling you, I get 5, 6, 7, 10 sometimes leads every month, but it's because I've been doing this for 21 years. So the moment people think Medicare, Rosie, Medicare in Tampa is associated with me. I mean, I have worked that industry that way. Pretty much, very few of the people that will not come through my sphere when they turn in 65, but that usually is because they have either somebody in their family or somebody else that they have, like their insurance, their cars and stuff, that they do Medicare. So they say, when my broker is the one that signed my policy for Medicare, which is great because I know now that person is taken care of.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. All right, we're going to shift gears a little bit now. Now we're going to get to know Rosie a little bit better. So first off, if you don't mind sharing maybe a challenge that you faced at this point in your life and how it's shaped the way that you do business.
Well, I can tell you that about October of 2020, my husband had a aortic dissection. It was an emergency open heart surgery, which we did not know anything about that because my husband is at that time was a 55-year-old man, young. It was, I guess, some hereditary thing, and we found out the hard way. 90% of the people that get what my husband get passes the way. But he's a miracle. And 15 months later, he had to go into a second open heart surgery to kind of repair all the other, I would say, the piping. He calls it the piping. The motor is running great, but the piping needed to be changed. I will not be able to be the caregiver that I am for my husband, and I get a little bit emotional, and this is who I am. This is the raw Rosie, right? If I would not have the time to be able to have my own, I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I can be home right now with my husband here, available for him. I was able to stay in the hospital with him for the 7 days that he was in the hospital, 3 days in intensive care, 4 in the regular hospital. I will not be able to do these things and care of him if I will have another career, right? So my heart is always for that caregiver. Be a caregiver that is taking care of their parents, a mom and dad, or a single mom that is taking care of children and is raising children, but you're having to take him to a daycare where somebody else is taking care of your children. You can have this career where it gives you the freedom that if you love to help others, you can actually make money and be successful being a stay-home person, present for your children, present for your loved one. So that's the part of me that actually got me into this business because I love helping others. I love to simplify a problem and make it easier for you to find a solution and overcome whatever that is and see you on the other side.
I love it. I love it. Very well said. Very well said. All right. So, Rosie, we're going to transition now to what we call the lightning round. And just like all of our guests, we never tell our guests about the lightning round because we want it to be just sort of pure and authentic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire some questions at you, and you're just going to give me, in some cases, a one-word answer. In some cases, it'll require an explanation. But the biggest thing is just give us the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay. Got it.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cats or dogs? Okay. What's one tool or piece of technology other than your computer or your phone that you can't live without?
Well, you say, but Audible, I know that's the phone too.
Yeah,
but
no, that works. That works. Yeah, love Audible.
Audible is
Yep.
my best friend.
Love Audible. No, I was on Audible as I was working out this morning. I like it. I like it. All right, give me you've given a couple here, so I'm gonna ask you. I think this will be a good one for you. Give me a favorite quote or phrase about business or success.
Oh my God, I have it here, but if you guys read the slide edge, hold on, I gotta put it in here because this is, and I gotta cut my glasses really quick. Hold on, I got it right here, Dan, because this is amazing to me. But it says, true transformation doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice. And that's the 10X actually. But the one I wanted to tell you, where is it? Of course. Okay, that's difficult is what takes a little time. The impossible is what takes a little bit longer. And that
I
is the
love that.
slight edge. And I love that one.
Very good. Very good. Love that one. That was right up my alley. All right. Do you have a favorite book on finance or business?
Yeah, okay.
All right. So good
It
marketing. I
actually
like it.
does tell you here, one of the first things that I tell people is pay yourself first. Now, I did not know this, that most of the people that write books tell you that, but as an entrepreneur, you tend to pay everybody else first and then you last. And you really need to understand that that needs to be a mindset that you need to change because you need to pay yourself first and then everybody else.
It's a good one. That's a good one. I wish I knew that when I started my business. All right. Do you have a personal hack, like a productivity hack or any hack that you could share with us?
So and I read the book Atomic Habits, right?
Yep, good one. Really good one.
So for example, to me, I'm really bad about taking my vitamins.
I got that one here.
Yeah,
So, there we go.
Atomic Habits. So in order to remember my vitamins, I actually now know that I brush my teeth, I drink my vitamins.
Right, because it's
know?
just you associate
So
one with the other. Yes.
just put something that you do every single day, because at the end of the day, a habit is something that you build over time and you do it without thinking. Not like you're breathing right now, but you're really not thinking, okay, how am I gonna breathe? It's a habit. And it's changing habits that they're not as healthy habits and then flip them to something that is going to help you achieve, in the long run, what you want to achieve.
Very cool. Very cool. What's one bucket list item that you've already accomplished?
That I have already accomplished. That I spend the 4th of July in the lawn of the Lincoln Memorial, watching all the fireworks right in front of the White House. I've been to the White House 3 times, by the way. So, a little girl from Ecuador, a third world country, has been in the most powerful location on earth. Not one, not twice, but 3 times.
Very nice.
But that bucket list, if you guys have not seen it, and regardless who is in the administration, just seeing the White House and everybody just being united, celebrating America, I can't tell you, but that was so far has been my best bucket list.
I love it. That sounds super cool. I'm going to have to add that one to mine. Very good. Very good. What's one financial milestone, Rosie, that you're still working towards?
So I thought I have not made $1 million on my life yet, but I realized I'm actually close to $1.5 million in my career. So I think now my milestone, my coach says I only make millionaires. So I kept saying, well, it's going to take you a very long time with me not knowing. And now I realize, well, I'm going to be a billionaire now. So you're not only going to work with $1 million, it's going to be more than that. So I was just can tell you that my next is going to go to the $2 million.
Good for you.
And that will happen pretty soon.
Good for you. Good for you. Very cool. If you could give some advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Don't be afraid. Be yourself. People really are not looking at what you're doing at all. They're just sometimes seeing that you can accomplish more because you're bilingual. So take that information and just embrace it. And I say at the very beginning, I was a little bit intimidated by that, but not anymore. People really love the diversity. They call it exotic. And so when I have my little accent, people pay more attention because they want to understand me. And it's my responsibility to slow down, enunciate the words, and make sure that they understand me clearly. So for your younger self, you rock, Rosie.
I love it. I love it. Very cool. Very cool. All right. And then finally, if our listeners want to connect with you, whether they be a potential client or someone that wants to collaborate and work with you, what's the best way to reach you, Rosie?
So my website is www.rosiepaulsen.com, www.rosiepaulsen.com. All my social media platforms are under Rosie Paulsen. My email is rosie@rosiepaulsen.com.
Thank you for sharing that. We'll put that in the show notes as well. And I want to just say, I really enjoyed the discussion, Rosie. Thank you so much for your time today. I love your energy. I love your perspective. I know that our audience will get super motivated by that. I know I have been. So thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Stay pure, stay positive, and stay inspired. And I would love to give you with a free download from the book. So Dan, I will send that to you so you can
Great.
share it with your listeners.
I'll put it out to my social audience. All right, very cool. So that's it for this episode. As always, keep your strategy sharp, your goals clear, and your money working as hard as you do. This is another episode of Making Sense of Your Money. Cheers, everybody.
Ciao.